Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. We have new videos every Monday through Friday, so don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Today, we're going to mention 5 things that we can expect from the Green Bay Packers at the 2025 NFL Draft. And these are not specific things like a player they're definitely going to take, but general philosophies and approaches and areas that the Packers are going to address and maybe how they're going to address them. Coming in at number 5, look for the Packers to draft a quarterback on day 3. We know Jordan Love is set as the starting quarterback. Malik Willis, assuming he is not traded, and I don't think he will be, he is going to be set at the backup spot. But keep in mind that Willis is in the final year of his contract and is unlikely to be back in Green Bay in 2026. You add to the fact that Brian Gutekunst indicated a year ago that he wanted to get back to what Ron Wolf did in the 90s and early 2000s, which was drafting a quarterback late in the draft as a developmental project. And that yielded the Packers guys like Mark Brunell, Matt Hasselbeck, Aaron Brooks, and none of those guys stayed long in Green Bay, maybe a year, 2, 3, but then they were traded for additional draft picks, and some of those players went on to help the Packers very much. So a day 3 developmental quarterback, something we can definitely expect. Number 4, I think you'll see the Packers draft at least 2 offensive linemen. Why? Well, number 1, depth is certainly an issue. We have 6 guys who we more or less can trust in Rasheed Walker, Jordan Morgan. You have Aaron Banks. You have Elton Jenkins. You have Sean Ryan. You have Zach Tom. Those guys are going to battle for the 5 starting spots. But the depth behind them right now, very unproven. Offensive line is a position that the Packers address in almost every draft with multiple picks. And we know Rasheed Walker, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom are all free agents after the 2025 season. You add those 2 things up, you're getting at least 2 picks along the O-line this year. The Packers at number 3 will take a receiver early in the draft. It may not be in round 1. We all know they haven't selected a wide receiver in round 1 since 2002 when they took Javon Walker. But we know Christian Watson will miss the first half of the season. Watson and Romeo Doubs are in the last year of their entry-level deals. And we know the Packers, courtesy of Josh Jacobs and really almost everybody else, don't have a clear-cut go-to number 1 receiver. So I expect either in round 1 or round 2 that the Packers are likely to add a wide receiver. Wouldn't be surprised if they add another one on day 3, but they will take at least 1 in the first 3 rounds of the draft. Number 2, the Packers will take at least 2 defensive linemen in this draft. Jeff Hafley indicated he wanted to get more pass rush from the front 4. And I know Brian Gutekunst said at one of his press conferences, oh, yeah, we think we have the talent that we need on the roster already. And he may, to an extent, believe that. But let's be realistic. He may also be saying that in order to distract opposing teams from worrying too much about the Packers wanting a defensive lineman. We need more pass rush. Rashawn Gary led all Packers defensive linemen with just 7.5 sacks. And then we need to replace TJ Slayton, who left via free agency, a run stuffer, probably going to happen on day 3. A pass rusher, however, day 1 or day 2. And we all know Devontae Wyatt is in the final year of his entry-level deal this year, and Kenny Clark has a cap hit of more than $30 million in 2026. So Clark, A, needs to bounce back this year, and B, would need, even if he does bounce back, to renegotiate his contract in order to stay beyond 2025. So The need is there. It's more of a longer-term need than a short-term need, but a pass rusher early, a run stuffer late, that is the minimum I would expect from the Packers in this draft. And then at number 1, look for Brian Gutekunst to make a couple of deals. The Packers only have 8 picks this year. Last year, they had 11 entering the draft. Gutekunst usually makes at least one, if not more, trades. Often it's day 3 trades where they just, trade a high 4th for a low 4th and a 6th, something like that. But I think Gutekunst is going to look to add to those 8 picks. The Packers like a lot of bites at the apple, so to speak. And we also know Jaire Alexander could be dealt before or during this draft, and whether he adds a player or a pick, or if they can't find a taker, maybe he gets released at some point. But obviously, they're going to try to trade him unless they settle things and he remains a Packer. Even if Alexander is not involved, I expect the Packers to make a trade in this draft to add some extra picks. And if you think about it, the strength of this draft is really round 2. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the Packers trade back if the board doesn't fall their way, or just to make some maneuvers to get a particular player. Gutekunst has traded in most of the drafts that he's used for the Packers. He's traded up and back in the same draft in 2018, and the result was Jaire Alexander. So I expect him to be active and to see at least one trade. Feel free to comment on any of these topics or anything you think we missed. If you have something that you expect the Packers to do in this draft along these lines, feel free to let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Oh, and don't forget to check out our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles about the Packers Monday through Saturday. I'm Gil Martin. Thanks for watching the Daily Packers Post. Have a great day, and of course, go Pack Go.